Welcome back, Dick Nation, as we continue on our hunt for entrepreneurial gold. I'm Tim Laskas, and this is episode 53. And before we get on to today's guest, let me give you a free gift. From me to you, I'm a giver, and I need some takers. If you want a free entrepreneurial success guide, which is an ebook, cool, easy, fun, and fast read, head on over to timlaskas.com under the resources page and grab yours. Get this free ebook, Entrepreneurial Success Guide, and it will help you, give you some tips and strategies to improve on your life personally, professionally, and all that great stuff. Head over to timlaskas.com under the resources page and snap it up today. Now, on to today's featured guest, Zach Benson. Zach is a full-time entrepreneur, a world traveler, a dancer, a connector. He was also, listen to this, he was also a round 4 finalist on the hit TV show, So You Think You Can Dance. Well, I can't dance, but Zach can. And Zach is also the founder and CEO of Assistagram. Assistagram is a company that helps grow other companies' Instagram accounts. And he was telling me about a cool story how one of his newest clients, which is Dubai, a city-state in the United Arab Emirates, called him up and said, Zach, this is Dubai. We need you to run our Instagram account. Would you do this? And he goes, let me think about it. Sure. Absolutely. Anyway, Zach's got lots of great information on how you can crush Instagram yourself and just get out there and make some money using Instagram, because it left me scratching my head when I first got on. But Zach, he just brings great value, and I was able to actually utilize some of his tips and strategies. So I know you're going to enjoy.
The Tim Laska Show, in search of entrepreneurial gold. Tim digs deep into the minds of his guests, entertaining, down to earth, and informative. Now, here's your host, Tim Laskas.
Hello, everybody. Today's featured guest is Zach Benson. Zach, thanks for being on the show.
Hey guys, it's great to be here. I'm really excited.
Zach, you were telling me you are like a dancing man, you are the breakdancing guy that's on the internet right now on YouTube. Break that down for it. What is going on with this? Tell the listeners about this.
Yeah, man. Basically I was, on this TV show called So You Think You Can Dance, and that kind of like kickstarted my career. So now I'm just traveling, teaching dance clinics everywhere I go. So I love it. Teaching's my passion. So definitely blessed and love what I do.
So you were on the dance show, So You Think You Can Dance. How did you pull that one off?
Well, it's, I just basically picked a city and went for the audition. So I stood in line for about 15 hours, finally got my time to danced for about 20 seconds, and then moved on to round 2. And so I was basically had to come back the very next day at like 6 a.m. So it's a very long process, but it was worth it.
All right, so they gave you 3 seconds of a move. Like, what was your go-to move? Because you're thinking, man, I got to make this pay off. It's got to be big. So what did you do that grabbed their attention?
So I entered onto the stage doing a frog hop. So I like to impersonate different animals. So I was like, okay, so everybody's doing a flip or some type of jump or leap. Why don't I start on the floor and enter in like a frog? So it really caught their attention and helped me move on to the next stage. So
now, did you know how to do the frog hop, or did you just make it up like right before you went in there?
Well, it's actually a move I created and invented myself. So it's my original move, and I'd been practicing it a lot before because I was thinking of my strategy on how to advance in the rounds.
Man, that is awesome. I did the worm at my brother's wedding, and I had a couple of drinks and cracked my chin on the floor and like a fool. Man, that was about it. And then I did a little spin and kind of got some clapping, and then I just got out of there.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
I was embarrassed.
Well, everybody with a couple drinks in them likes to dance and thinks they can break dance, and same thing with the kids. Like nowadays, all the 5-year-olds want to be a break dancer. So totally get it.
Hey, it's never gone out of style. I grew up in the 80s, and the breakdance was in back then, and I remember I even used to go get the cardboard and put it out on the street and try to do a spin, and And I could never do the headspin. It just hurt my head thing. I could never stay up there. I don't know how they do it.
You know, it's funny. I was just on a video that went viral on this rapper's page, and it got like 13 million views. And this guy commented and said like, people don't break dance on cardboard anymore. And then they showed my clip of me breakdancing on a piece of cardboard on top of a roof in Bangkok. So yeah, man, people still break dance on cardboard. So
Man, that was the video I saw. You were up on top of that roof with like there was a bunch of pieces of cardboard around, and that was like that was a really cool, well put together video. Man, that was awesome.
yeah, yeah. My friend, my mate Nate, he's a YouTube star, YouTuber out in Thailand, almost 3 million subscribers. He just contacted me. He was like, "Yeah, man, like let's do a video. I hear you're in town." So yeah, we just did it. So it was a lot of fun.
That is cool. We could have a whole show, Zach, on breakdancing, and maybe we could do that in the future. But right now, let's jump into what are you currently working on professionally?
Well, right now, I'm actually working on a huge campaign with the Dubai Board of Tourism. So I'm organizing this huge influencer campaign. So they wanted to like bring like have like 20 million tourist visits by 2020. That's their goal. So they're targeting 10 different countries, and basically I'm reaching out to all of these different celebrities and A-listers from these countries, and inviting them to Dubai for like a 7-star experience. They get to stay at the 7-star hotel, air first class plane tickets, everything that you can think of. They can make happen, and basically just helping Dubai hit their target. So I specialize in making Instagram campaigns that reach millions.
Wow. Now, if they hit their target, are they going to give you like a Bentley or something? It's just to, like a little change. Like, here you go, man. Because I mean, Dubai 7. You're not talking about 5 stars. You said 7 stars because that's the kind of quality and class. I mean, they have some amazing buildings and structures and just what I've seen online. Have you been there yet?
No, I actually haven't ever been, but I'm really excited to go. So this is definitely happening. It's going to happen in September. And they also did mention gifts. So who knows? I might get that Bentley.
That would be cool. And if you ever go out there and you need somebody to carry water around for you, I'm your guy. You call me up, Zach. I'll be there. I'll go out to Dubai and hold your water because I heard it gets pretty hot out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was actually originally planned for May, but they're like, we don't want all of the influencers to hate Dubai, so we're going to, push it back till September. So it's happening in September. So I'm working on that, and then also working on some big social media projects with some hotels, like one of the top hotels in the world. I'm managing and growing their Instagram. I mean, well, my company is. And so doing that, and then I'm also teaching some dance clinics around here as well. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been focused on lately.
Well, you've been keeping busy. So how did you get into Instagram? And maybe, could you educate the listeners a little bit about Instagram? When did Instagram even like come about? When was it born?
Yeah, I mean, it's still kind of new, so it's like 5 or 6 years old. Now it has over 700 million active users every single month. So it's one of the fastest growing, most engaging platform out there. An Instagram post gets about 58 more times engagement than a Facebook post, 120 more times than Twitter. So that's why Facebook acquired it, for $1 billion in like 2012. So yeah, it's definitely the platform to be on. And how I got into it was just how I got into dance. My same friend that got me into breakdance, who gave me this DVD, was like, "Hey, let's get on this Instagram game." So I bought an account from him, spent for several $1,000s, and he basically helped me sell shout outs on that account. So I made most of my money back. I took a course and just kept learning. So now I'm pretty much I've mastered the game. There's still some things to learn, but we're doing really well.
Well, can you share with the listeners maybe a quick tip on, let's say that they have an Instagram and, they're putting up maybe some pictures of food and them out with their kids and their dog. And they're like, man, I only get like 14 likes or something during the day. Like, can you give them a tip throw them a bone on how they can kind of grow their account?
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody has like a hobby or a passion, something that they enjoy doing. So for me, it's travel. So I have a personal page and then a travel page, but you got to pick a niche. So whether you're into fashion, fitness, travel, motivation, maybe you're a podcaster, so you have a motivational page. You choose a theme, and then you create what's called a hub page. So that's technically not named after you. Maybe you would call it like, Millionaire Mentor or Secrets to Success. Those are some big accounts. You kind of get the idea. And basically, you just post, a lot of curated content. So it's all about content, finding some really good quotes, images with nice backgrounds. And basically, we say using about 60% curated content, and then 40% of your own good, like original content is the perfect recipe for growth. So I would first start with that.
So how many times a day should they be posting? Like if they just get up in the morning having coffee and they post once, is that enough? They need to be posting more often.
Well, definitely. So it's all about consistency. So I'd say at least 1 to up to 6 times a day. And the best times to post are usually around 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 3 p.m. Eastern time. Those are the best times to post for Instagram. So yeah, usually I post about three to 4 times a day.
Excellent. And if they want to just have more followers, they're like, I've got 3 followers, Uncle Bob, my mom, and some man out in I don't know, Wisconsin somewhere. And they want to grow their followers beyond that. Like, what do they need to do? Like, okay, you said, have some good content. You're curated, which is like, stuff that you can find out there and throw it up there, and then have your own photos, post a couple times a day. But is it all about like having the right hashtags, or do they need to go out and just start liking everybody else's in order to get people to like them?
So there's a couple ways you can do it. First it's about researching your hashtags. So finding relevant hashtags with maybe only anywhere from 50,000 to 200,000 posts in that hashtag. So for example, like right now I'm in Iowa and I'm working with this hotel in Iowa, and so I use the Iowa hashtag. But there's 1.6 million posts in that hashtag, so it's very unlikely that I'm going to hit the top post unless I have a big account, which I do. We have like a 3 million follower account, which posted up a picture of that hotel in Iowa with the Iowa hashtag, and it hit the top post. So, but for smaller accounts, and if you're just starting out, you want to choose hashtags that have less posts in them. So you can do that on Instagram. You can type in the hashtag and see how many posts it has. So choose a smaller number and post up to 30 different hashtags in the first comment, so it doesn't make your caption look bad. So as soon as you post up the picture, copy and paste those 30 hashtags right after. And yeah, that's going to help you get more exposure, more likes, and followers. And apart from that, just, choose your target market or some other influencers that you like and respect, and, like and comment on their page and their followers' pages, which will attract them to your page.
Well, those are great tips. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure the listeners are out there gaining some valuable information. And so, what are some tips that you would have for entrepreneurs? Now, you're out there, you're working for yourself, but, you have this company that you're involved in. And what are some tips you would have for people who are just thinking about making that leap, getting out of their kind of miserable job? What are something you can throw out there that can help them?
Well, I'd first, stick with your job and then find like a part-time side hustle job that you can do part-time, like a passion project, and then, work hard at it, read books, find online mentors, listen to podcasts, watch videos, take courses, and develop your skills. And, by doing that, I always say if you're not reading, then you're not growing. It's going to shave off time off your learning curve. So I always tell people, like, you have to have that mindset. Like, attitude is everything, and you always have to try to learn something from somebody, but you have to keep developing yourself. So I would say that's very important. And then also consistency. Like, being an entrepreneur, it's all about balance, but consistency, doing the small little things that seem to make no difference at all when you do them, but you do them when you don't feel like it, and you're focused enough on one or two things to really do a good job.
Well, those are great tips. And so, I mean, there was a bunch of stuff in there that you threw out there. Have your own side hustle. So you're not saying burn the ships. You're saying start something on the side and just gradually build it while you have your job.
Exactly. You won't be stressed out about money because you'll have money coming in, and yeah, I mean it's just dedicating maybe a couple hours a day or a few hours a day, and sooner or later it's gonna, if you keep working at it, it's gonna really it could be your full-time thing.
So slow and steady. Maybe miss a couple of those whatever TV shows you're out there watching, and spend that time on building your side hustle. And I love that when you talked about investing in yourself, because there's nothing else better to invest in than yourself. And it gives you the best chance to be a successful entrepreneur. Now, Zach, when did you realize that you could be an entrepreneur? Did you always have this entrepreneurial spirit?
No, so believe it or not, I mean, I couldn't say the letter R until I was in my 20s. So I never spoke in class because I had a speech impediment. So I had low self-esteem, low confidence, and then it all changed when I got to college, and I found my voice. And basically, after college, I studied Spanish and health promotion and got a job as a personal trainer and liked it, but I hated the hours. Like, I hated waking up at 4:30 and getting home at like 10 o'clock at night and doing it over again. By Friday, I was wiped out and just fell asleep like on my chair. So I never thought I was much of an entrepreneur until I started teaching dance and making money at that. And then what happened was I got fired from my fitness job because I was traveling and teaching dance too much. And my boss was like, you got to choose one. Either you're here or you're there. And I was like, he's not going to fire me. I'm making all this money for them. I'm doing a really good job. But the next day I was called in and I got fired. And that's when it got really real. And I was like, okay, now I really have to make that leap, take that leap of faith and go for it and make this happen.
Wow. So he did you a favor. It was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it was. And
well, then that made your leap easier. You just got pushed off the ledge. So here you go. Get out of here.
Yeah, kind of like that. And I was sad, and my parents were too. But in the end, I realized that it was a blessing because, like I couldn't be more happier than I am now. I mean, being able to wake up in another country, another culture, to see how people live and arrange their lives, it's cool to me. So I love traveling and teaching, and yeah, it's good now.
Now, have you seen that guy again since then? Did you ever go back and say, hey, I just want to thank you. I want to shake your hand for letting me go, for giving me the cane?
I saw him, I think about a year ago at a grocery store, and he said, I always knew you'd make it. It's not surprising. So he was really happy for me.
Oh, well, that's cool. That is great. He probably saw that shining star within you, and he says, I got to let you go, Zach, because there's something bigger out there than what you're doing for us.
Yeah, he was a great boss, too, and I learned a lot from him, so definitely blessed.
Well, that's excellent. Well, Zach, let's move into the dig round, where I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and you reply quickly.
Okay.
The first is, what keeps you motivated?
YouTube videos, books.
YouTube videos and books. Now, who do you look up to as a business leader?
There's a lot of them. I look up to Jeff Olson, author of The Slight Edge. He's a really great leader.
Okay. And street smarts versus book smarts. Which one do you choose?
So hard to choose. I'd have to choose book smarts.
I thought you were going to say street because you're dancing on the street a lot. But you chose books.
Both because you need both.
But
But
you can't choose both. It's only one. So you chose
yeah,
books.
exactly, books because you can learn from other people's experiences.
There you go. It can help give you the shortcuts and you can learn from others' mistakes. Love that. Great stuff. Now, Zach, can you tell the listeners a little bit about a stressful time that you've had as an entrepreneur when you thought, oh no, I don't know if I can take this? And how did you get out of it?
Basically, when I got injured as a dancer, I was warming up, getting ready to hit stage, and I just injured my back, and I was like, oh no, I can't dance, I can't do my job. I still ended up dancing, but then the person wasn't happy and didn't understand that I really hurt myself. And then I didn't know that I hurt myself so bad that it would put me out of dancing for about a year. And that's when that was also the second sign when I was like, okay, I got to figure out another way to make a living besides dance. And that's when I started up the marketing agency.
So you had a serious physical injury.
Yeah, yeah, I got injured. Um, Basically, it put me out for a year, so I couldn't do any type of exercise, no dancing. I mean, it was really depressing, being not being able to do something that you love, like you feel trapped.
So how did you cope with that mentally? You talked about it was depressing and you felt depressed over this whole situation. Here, before you were active, you're out dancing, doing what you love, and now you're stuck kind of idle. So like, how did you cope mentally with that?
Man, it was hard for me. I mean, I had to do a lot of journaling when I thought about doing it, and that helped a little bit. And yeah, I mean, it was just hard for me. I was down for a while, but I had to decide for myself to just choose to be happy. So even though I felt sad, I felt depressed. I just chose to be happy. I'd like make myself laugh. I'd get up and take a walk outside and get fresh air. I just kind of had to change my mindset because my mindset was like, okay, I can't dance, I can't make money, I can't travel, I can't do the things I love, and so it was a really stressful, hard time for me. But I realized that it's just all in my head, and so figure out other ways to help people, figure out other ways to express, and everything's going to be okay.
Well, that was a powerful statement that you made a choice to be happy in that situation.
Yeah.
And I am a firm believer that regardless of what's going on, we make a choice of whether we want to stay down and just wallow in our own misery, or we can make a choice of whether we want to be happy and lift ourselves up. And sometimes, and I've been there, we've all been there where we're just like, no, I just want to stay down. I don't want to be happy. I choose just to stay sad for another, day or so. And it really does go back to mindset. And you, everyone out there, the listeners, me, we have choices in how we feel. Yeah, things happen. Even if it's a car accident, somebody runs into our brand new car. We have a choice of how we're going to respond to it. And of course, we're not going to choose to jump up and down and go, "Oh, thanks for hitting me." But you can think about it in a more positive light and not let yourself wallow, going, "Oh, my new car," and then kind of sulk and mope for 2 weeks after that. No, you can make a choice. Say, "Well, that's fine. I wasn't injured. Nobody was injured. Everything's gonna be okay. I'll get another brand new car. It's not a big deal." And then you move on. So I like that you brought that up, that you made a choice to be happy. And I just hope that the listeners will think about that, because we all have that choice for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And Zach, since you've been on your entrepreneurial journey and working for, with your own company, what would you say is been probably the most fulfilling moment up to this point?
Well, I mean, like I said, I mean, teaching is my passion. I mean, to, like I love encouraging others to like reach their potential in life, through the arts and social media. And so what really makes me happy and what's really rewarding, probably my most rewarding experience was with dance was when I went to Cambodia, and I was a volunteer, and we put on like this art camp, and we taught about 50 kids every single day, arts and crafts, and I also taught them dance. But this was one of the first times where I taught dance like outside on the grass, like you know, in the middle of the summer, super hot. But we didn't really have any music except my phone. And then, but the kids were so happy. Like they were so into the moment. You could see the energy, the love, the passion in their eyes when, and the confidence when they got these moves. And so it really just boosted them up, and it moved me too, you know, seeing people happy.
Well, that's pretty cool because, and they were probably happy in the moment, and now that you've taught them something new, that you know that happiness may continue, and there's no telling what they're doing with those moves, and just continue to evolve and become better dancers because of you.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't take much credit, but I just you know, I've been taught by some amazing people, but it's definitely rewarding when you see people like, hey, I get it, or that makes sense, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you, Zach, who is the guy that did the Gangnam style? Is that
Oh,
how
yeah.
is that how you say it?
The guy, oh,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I'm
his
talking
name's
about?
Sai. Sai.
Sai. And where is he from? What is he like from Korea or is he
He's
American?
Korean. So, I mean, he's from South Korea. He used to be like a Korean rapper. So, I mean, he was just like a average rapper. And then Gangnam Style came out, and
Gundam
everybody
style.
went
Yeah.
crazy. So that kind of like was his hit, and then he had another hit after that. So now I think he's only making like one song a year, but yeah, it really helped him boost his career.
I'll tell you, my son loves it. He's 3 years old. He loves that song, man. It's hilarious to see him. He starts dancing, and it just, man, it brings the energy. There's something about music and dance, and it just really just touches your soul. So all that great work that you're doing and teaching people is wonderful.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, Zach, we've come to the end of the show, unfortunately. But before we go, where can people find you online, either website or how can they find you on social media?
Yeah, guys. Well, you can check out my website www.assistagram.us, and then you can also contact me on email benson.zach@gmail.com. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions. Definitely here if you need me.
So it's assistagram.us.
Yeah.
And your email again is
benson.zach@gmail.com.
benson.zach@gmail.com. Well, fantastic. Thank you, Zach. I look forward to watching more of your videos and spinning on top of your head on these buildings in Cambodia, wherever it is that you go and do it. And remember, I'm your guy to go to Dubai with you because I will
For
carry
sure.
water. And I will be your water boy for
Thank you
that
so much,
trip.
Tim. It was a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you. You have a great one.
Okay.
Take care,
Bye.
Zach.
Want more entrepreneurial tips? Go to timlaskas.com.